Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Kaylin and I make bookish videos here over on YouTube, and I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. Today's video is one I haven't done in a really long time, and that is a 24-hour readathon, but that is the timed method. So basically what that is you set a 24-hour timer on your phone, and every time you pick up a book to read, you start the timer, and every time you go to do something else besides reading, you pause the timer. I don't think this is going to be done in over a weekend because I'm not the sort of person that can sit down and read for like 12 consecutive hours. I wish I could, but I cannot. I simply can't sit there for that long. So we're gonna see how many days this takes us. I'm hoping not too long, but fast forward to it taking 2 weeks. Before I officially start the timer, I will go over the book I'm currently reading and kind of what's on the TBR, but I have some things to do first, so I will see you when it's time to officially start the timer. Hello guys, it's much later. I have yet to start the timer. I wanted to go over the TBR that I will potentially be reading for this video. First, I want to open this package because this is actually the first book I will be reading for this video, and I've been waiting all day. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? I loved Swift and Saddled so much. I wasn't expecting to love that book because I am not really a romance reader, and before reading Swift and Saddled, I tried Elsie Silver's Chestnut Spring series and I just didn't like it. I actually DNF'd the first book. I think I read Flawless first, hated it. I didn't like it, I didn't like the writing. So I was very much like, this is probably gonna be the same thing, but I'll try it because Swift and Saddled was trending on Book Talk. Ate that book up, read it in one sitting, literally did not move from that seat until I finished it. And now this is the third book, Lost and Lassoed. Oh, this book is actually damaged. Freaking hate getting books off Amazon because they come damaged. Well, you know what? Not much I can do about it. It's fine. I'm really excited for this book, and I know I'm gonna read this pretty quickly because I read Swift and Saddled so quick. And then the final book that's coming out is Wild and Wrangled. This is literally 313 pages. This is just a really nice like palette cleanser for me, and there's just something about this book that I love. So this will be the first book of the series. Now, potentials are right here. Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is what I'm on the fence about because I've never read a Hannah Grace book, and I know her books tend to be really spicy, and I'm not one for those types of books. This one, the main character seems a bit of me. She is a cozy lover. She loves all things cozy. She loves reading and she loves Taylor Swift. Me. So I'm gonna give it a try. It's really thick. And then we have Sally Rooney's newest release, in Intermezzo. I think that's how you say it. That could be totally wrong. This is the TBR for this 24-hour readathon. I'm gonna start with this one. We're gonna start the timer here in a little bit. What time is it? It's 4:50. I am starting dinner in like 10 minutes, so maybe we'll read for 10 minutes and then carry on while we wait for dinner. Timer is set. Time to get to reading. It is now the next morning. It's very early in the morning. But I wanted to give you guys updates on Lost and Lassoed, and also kind of tell you what this whole universe is about in this book. So let's talk about that first. So this series is Done and Dusted, Swift and Saddled, Lost and Lassoed, and there's one more coming, Wild and Wrangled. And these are all interconnected romances that are set in a very small town in Wyoming called Meadowlark, and it's set mainly on this ranch called Rebel Blue Ranch, which is owned by this guy named Amos Ryder, and he has 2 sons. There's this guy who's in this book, which is Gus. His real name is August. There's another brother, I forget his name, and then Emmy Ryder, who is the only daughter. And they own this very big, I don't want to say cattle ranch because it's not really a cattle ranch, but it has cattle on it, but it's just like a working ranch. And so each book follows a different character. So first book was Emmy Ryder. Second book was the middle child. I think he's the middle child. I forget his name. Is it Gus? I think it's Wes is the middle child's name. And then this one is following the older brother, Gus. His name is August. And he is 36 years old, and he's a single dad. And he's spending the summer being the sole parent because the child's mom is out of town for an internship for a lawyer. He's battling with being a single parent for like the first, like just the sole parent and not having like a co-parent. And so he's dealing with that while also trying to manage working on the ranch. And then there's a dude ranch that just opened up. And then he's also, I think, struggling a little bit with lost in life because he is looking at all these people around him who have these partners and these families and are doing stuff, and it's just him and his daughter. And I think he's kind of battling with a little bit of that. And lo and behold, Teddy, who is his sister's best friend, gets hired to help him watch Riley, which is his daughter. Him and Teddy have always had a history of not really liking each other, and so the fact that she gets hired is kind of like, okay, we obviously see where this is going. And he is starting to see Teddy in a different light. Now Teddy is kind of struggling with the same thing. She mentioned several times in this book that like her best friend is moving on without her. She is engaged and found the love of her life, and then there's other people getting engaged, married, having kids, buying houses, and she's like, I'm still here. And she's sad about that, and I relate to that a lot. I was like, wow, I feel so seen in this moment because that is literally my life right now. Like everyone around me is doing those things, and I'm just like, I feel like I have stayed the same for so long in my life. And she's also this, so like, she's caring for her father. She is the type of person that has always cared for someone else in her life, and she's never had someone take care of her, especially like a romantic partner. It just really shows a different side of Teddy, because Teddy's this very fun, lighthearted, like your go-to gal if you want to go out and have a fun time. But in this book you see there is a softer side to Teddy, and that she may be masking a lot of those feelings with the outer appearance of being like fun, goofy, like the go-to girl, you know what I'm saying? So I am liking this book, not as much as I liked the other two, because solely for the single dad trope, I am not a fan of the pregnancy trope, the single dad trope, anything that has to deal with that kind of area in life. I just don't really want to read about it because that's just not for me, and that's okay. And I know a lot of people love that trope, but I also know a lot of people who hate it. And so I don't know why I just blanked on that being a trope, because I already knew Gus was a single dad from the other two books, and she plays a big part in this because obviously Teddy is helping out and like babysitting Riley. So, you know, but I am trying to like look past that and focus on just Teddy and Gus and like how their relationship is forming. But yeah, I am liking it, just not as much as I liked the other two. But I do like Teddy, and I think they are going to make an interesting couple. Also, this is an age gap, I should say. Teddy is 28 and he is 36. So there's that. I read 126 pages last night, and now we are, I don't even know where my phone's at. The timer is at 22 hours and 32 minutes and 9 seconds. So we still have a big chunk of time left. So I probably won't pick this up anymore this morning because I'm gonna eat and kind of chill out before going to work. So I'll probably pick this up after work, and I will see you then. I'm sitting down to finish this book. I have about 40 pages left, so let's get into it. I just finished. So here's my thing about this book is, if you are like me and don't really enjoy tropes that have to deal with kids, probably skip this book, because kids are like a heavy topic in this book, because obviously he's a single dad, and he's a single dad, so like there is a kid involved. This is gonna sound so bad, but like I kind of wish there was less of the kid in the book. I just don't enjoy reading about kids, especially when it comes to like a spicy cowboy romance book. Like I don't want a kid to be there, because I just keep thinking about the kid. I'm like, oh my god, he's a dad. So I just wish there was less of it in there, and she kind of got on my nerves in some scenes. Honestly, I'm like, I really don't care. I don't care to read about this, but I do really like Gus. I really like him, and I really like Teddy. Teddy, I saw a lot of myself in her with her, just how I was describing earlier, how she's kind of like, I just feel stagnant and everyone else is like moving on with their life, and she feels like people she loves are forgetting about her, and like she's always the one to take care of people, no one's there to take care of her. So I really enjoy that. Gus is very much a, if he wanted to, he would, an acts of service guy, which we love. It moves really quick in this book, and this book is only 300 pages, so obviously things have to move quick, but I feel like it could have been paced a little better. So I don't know, definitely not my favorite of the Rebel Blue Ranch series, but I did really like it. I give it a 3.5, so That's it for that book. For next book, I'm thinking we're switching it up and reading Sally Rooney. I haven't read a Sally Rooney in years. My last Sally Rooney was Beautiful World, Where Are You? I loved this book, and I forget when this came out. When did this come out? 2021, so it's been 3 years since I've read a Sally Rooney. So I'm excited. She's a chunker though. Let's go get started. I have some updates. We need to chat. So last time we spoke, I said I was going to start this book, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I have started it. I read 70 pages this morning before work, and I'm DNFing it. I cannot stand the way this book is written, which is a big thing for me because I love normal people. I ate normal people up, and the writing didn't bug me. This book, oh my God. There's a certain POV. You follow Peter. He's the older brother. So, okay, basically you're following two brothers. Ivan, who is the younger brother, I think he's like 22, and then Peter, who is 32 or something like that. And Peter is a lawyer, and he is insufferable. His POVs, I swear to you guys, I feel so dumb when I read them because I'm like, what did I just read? My brain will not retain it. And I am not the only one who says that about this book. So many people have left reviews that way. Like, it feels like I'm reading gibberish. And I was like, what? This isn't even something I want to sit through and read. So unfortunately, I am DNFing this, and I will be unhauling this because I just can't, which makes me so sad because I really do like this cover, and I thought about keeping it for the cover, but I am DNFing it. There's no reason for this to be on my shelf when I did not enjoy it, when another book that I did enjoy could take its place. However, I did pick up Daydream. You haven't missed much. I literally read the first chapter and I'm 10 pages in. I'm hoping to love this. I'm taking advantage of the romance mood I'm in because I'm rarely in that mood. But the beginning of this book, the dedication says something about, for the eldest daughters in my life, I see you, I appreciate you, and most important, I love you for who you are and not what you do for everyone. So I'm not in this author's life, but I am an eldest daughter, and I felt that because when you're the older daughter, you feel wholly responsible for the family. Like, it's hard to explain to someone who isn't the eldest daughter, but if you're a fellow eldest daughter, you totally get it. So I'm really hoping to really love this. So let's sit down to read because we got a ton of time left. Hi guys, it's been quite a while since I've picked up this camera to continue this vlog, and that's just because I'm currently moving in like 2 weeks, so I've just been busy doing moving stuff. But anyways, I have made progress in Daydreamer. I just haven't updated you guys or told you guys what this book is about yet. So I'm actually currently this far into the book. I'm 281 pages into the book, so I'm very close to finishing it. And I am absolutely obsessed with this story, this world, these characters. Oh my God, I love it so much. In this book, you're following two college students, Hallie and Henry. Hallie had just broken up with her boyfriend, who she wasn't really in love with at all, and it was kind of like a forced thing. Like, they've always been friends, and parents have always wanted them to like get together because they're the type of families that go on vacation together, they have holidays together, stuff like that. So it was kind of like, okay, let's give this a try. And it just wasn't working for Hallie, and the whole time Hallie thought something was wrong with her because she wasn't feeling what you should be feeling, and she thought maybe I'm just not meant to feel that way, which is really sad. And the way she's just describing how like her ex, Will is his name, treated her, like never took her out on dates, never made effort, made her feel very small, and it was just really sad. So she has dedicated this year to doing things for her. The thing with Hallie is she is an eldest daughter, so she has that eldest daughter syndrome, and she puts others before herself, especially like her loved ones, and she overbooks herself. She runs a book club, she has her classes, she also helps out other people with stuff. It's just, she just does a lot. And so she meets Henry, who is a hockey player. He is now the captain of the hockey team of the college she goes to, and In this book, the author wrote something about him being neurodivergent, but she never diagnosed him because she never wants to diagnose people, but he's neurodivergent coded is what she says. Like, and basically she just says how she's not going to diagnose him. That's not for her to do, but I think he has ADHD. I'm pretty sure he has ADHD, and he is very neurodivergent, and I see myself in Henry so much with the way he just explains things, how his brain works, how he goes about stuff, how he approaches things. I'm just like, I see so much of myself in Henry, but I also see so much of myself in Hallie. Anyways, so they kind of strike up this friendship, and it's a very unlikable friendship because both of them are into each other but don't know that's what they're feeling, because Henry has never had a relation. Well, I don't say never, but he doesn't want a relationship. I don't know his past dating experience. Like, he's kind of just ones for like hookups and like that's it. Like, he doesn't want to date, and Hallie has obviously had an like not a good experience with relationships, and so both of them don't really know what the feeling is. So she agrees to help him out with studying because he is not really succeeding in this one class that he has to take, and it's too late to drop it, and she's taken this class before, so she helps him out, and they just strike up this friendship, and it's just so good. Hallie, I can't even explain how seen I feel when reading this book. I've never read a book with two fictional characters that make me feel so seen and like heard and like, oh my god, I am not alone. So I'm really liking this book. I don't know if any other Hannah Grace books are like this. I'm kind of scared to read her other books because I've heard they're very spicy. This has some spice in it, but not a lot so far, which I appreciate, but I've heard her other books are super spicy, and I just feel like with that, I feel like it takes over from the story, and that's what I think this works for me, is because it's not that way, and I really get to just fall in love with the characters in the world and just like what's going on. So I don't know exactly what's gonna happen in this last chunk. I do feel like this book could have been like 300 pages. I don't feel like we needed 400 pages for this book, even though I am loving this book. I just feel like 400 pages is a bit much when it comes to a romance book. So those are my feelings. I am gonna have a snack and I'm gonna continue reading. I just wanted to say hi since I haven't yet. Oh, timer. Where are we at on our timer? We are at 16 hours and 18 minutes left. Let's get to reading. Hi, I'm back in my Grinch sweater. This is the only hoodie that's clean right now. But anyways, I just finished Daydream. I really like this book. I felt seen so many times in this book. There's this moment in this book where Hallie was kind of talking to herself, like her inner monologue, and she was talking about friends and how she's always craved that girlhood friendship, like those group of girls that are there for her no matter what, more than like a sisterhood kind of, and she finally found it. And I felt so seen with that because my entire life I've craved like a group of girls to be friends, and I have not had the best luck with friends, and I think it's because when I was younger, I was such a person that craved to be included, wanted to be just a normal girl and wanted to fit in with everyone and do all the things people were doing, and it was kind of, I think that made me be a pushover and made me get walked over and not treated the best. So friends have never been like that big group of friends. I've never had like ride or die friends. Like, yes, I've had big groups of friends, but they haven't been like they want to be your friends because they want to be your friends, and you don't equally, they will support you as you support them, and they're not there to like, oh, like Kaylin will do that, or you know, Kaylin doesn't mind, or Kaylin doesn't care. No, they're not like that. So I felt really seen with that because I have always wanted that, and I just love that Hallie got to experience that finally in her life, and I love that she also got to experience a love that she deserves that is just so wonderful and magical, and just like everything a girl wants when it comes to love she is getting, and it's just honestly amazing. And I think it was the end of chapter 39, if you've read this book, what Henry does for Hallie before she goes on her vacation with the family is just, I was speechless. Like, I cried because I have never had anyone, especially a guy, like do thoughtful things for me like that. I've never been the person to have someone do something because they thought of me, or they thought I would like this, or they know I like this, so they got me this. And I've never had that experience in my life, and I want that experience in my life. And I cried, and I think I'd probably cry in real life if someone did something for me that like they put so much thought and effort into. So yeah, I don't know why this has turned into kind of a little therapy sesh, but yeah, I really love this book a lot, and I think I'm gonna give it a 4.75. I'm knocking off the 0.25 because of two reasons. First one is the length. I don't think it needed to be over 400 pages. I feel like it could have been 300 pages and we could have wrapped it up in a nice little bow. The other reason why I'm taking off 0.25 is the epilogue. The ending of this book, like besides the epilogue, was I think a perfect ending to this book. Like I was very satisfied that I didn't really even want to carry on with the epilogue because it was a 3 month later epilogue. So I read the epilogue, didn't really care for it. Like I felt like the perfect ending was the chapter before the epilogue. Does that make sense? So yeah. So I have now finished this. What's the timer at now? 14 hours and 33 minutes left on this timer. Also, there's been a couple times where I've left this timer running because I've fallen asleep. This has happened so many times to me. So I'm pretty sure this is pretty accurate, but like I have so many timers here. Like, so it may be a little more than what I actually have, or it may be a little bit less than what I actually have, but 14 minutes and 33 minutes. 14 hours left. I don't exactly know what book I'm picking up next, but I do need to pick up one next because it's 7 o'clock and I need something to read in bed. I was thinking of a Kindle book maybe. There's one that people have been reading recently, but I don't exactly know if my Kindle is alive. Not alive, but like I guess alive. Like I don't know if it's charged, so I don't really want to pick a Kindle book just in case. I could go check my Kindle, I just don't want to. There's one, like I said, that everyone is reading currently right now, and I kind of want to be in with the in crowd and read it. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a sec. I'm back. My Kindle is quite charged actually, and the book I was talking about that everyone's been buzzing about on the good old book talk is Spark of the Everflame. This is the Kindred's Curse. This is the first book in the Kindred's Curse saga. So I think I'm gonna start that. I don't really know what it's about, but I've heard great things, and I'm kind of in the mood for a fantasy, and I'm kind of in the mood for a Kindle book, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. I will update you guys when I have updates about the book. So hi guys, ignore the wet hair. I just got home from work and got out of the shower obviously, but I do have some reading updates for you guys. I actually have 2 reading updates to tell you guys about. So obviously this is not the book I said I was going to start. However, I did start that book. That was The Spark of the Everflame. I'm reading it on my Kindle. I'm 15% in, and that is my book I read for bedtime because I love reading on my Kindle in bed. It just makes me fall asleep really fast. Don't know what that is. And then when I read like a physical book in bed, I can stay up for hours, which is not normal for me. So I've stopped reading physically in bed because I have been losing sleep. And that's not good. So The Spark of the Everflame, I can't really tell you what it's about because I don't exactly know yet. The other one is The Match by Sarah Adams. I have been in such a romance mood lately, and I don't know why, because that is not normal for me. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that I just don't really read a ton of romance, but I have been reading romance. Last 2 books we've read for this video has been a romance, and they've all been successful reads. So I don't know. And the other weird thing is I've read 2 of Sarah Adams' books and I haven't liked them because I just don't like the writing. And yeah, I agree. So her writing is very like that cringe, cheesy, it feels very young writing to me, which is strange because I read Hannah Grace's book, Daydream, and those characters were younger than these characters. Your 2 characters in here are 33 and 20 something, 26 and 33, and these guys read younger than Henry and Hallie did in Daydream. Let me tell you a little bit about this book. So in this book, you're following 2 different characters, 2 different POVs. Evie, who is the 26-year-old who works for a service dog company, and she's really close with the owner of the company named Joanna, and she's become kind of her second mom because her and her family aren't really close. She comes from a very prestigious family in Charleston, South Carolina, like one of the founding families. So she comes from a very rich, like upper class family, and that's just not really who Evie is. She doesn't really take after her parents. And so when she was 16, she was diagnosed with epilepsy, and her whole life turned upside down until she was introduced to service dogs in this company, and therefore she was matched with a service dog. His name is Charlie. He's a golden retriever, which we love, and he gave her her independence back. So she now lives alone and works for the company that she got Charlie from. And one day she gets an email about a potential customer wanting to be matched with the service dog. So she shows up, and it's this please ignore Wyatt. She shows up and it's this guy named Jake and his daughter named Sam, and Jake is kind of like, okay, who are you? Like, why are you talking to me? Like, I don't know who you are. And it turns out the daughter was the one that emailed Evie because Sam, who's the daughter, has epilepsy, and that's kind of why Evie was going to go to this meeting, because it's like very close to her since she has epilepsy and this girl is so young. So she becomes very persistent about it, and the dad, Jake, is very much like, I don't want anything to do with you, like respectfully, like I don't think we need this, like good day, have a good day. And she's like very persistent because of the reason she feels very connected. Long story short, he ends up giving in and emails her, and she is helping them be matched with a service dog. So she does that, and along the way she kind of develops feelings for Jake, and Jake is developing feelings for her, but Jake is like, I don't know if she'd want that because I come with a lot of baggage and yada yada yada. So basically that's what is kind of happening in this book, and there is a benefit that's going to be thrown for the service dog company because eventually they would love for it to be free of charge for customers. So I knew I was going to get along with this book, and I am. It just reads very young for me, and I don't know, it's definitely not Daydream, but I do like it. I am having a fun time with this. Oh, I am 111 pages into it. The timer is set at 12 hours and 23 minutes left of this 24-hour thing, so we're not even halfway through yet. But that's pretty much all the updates I wanted to give you guys before I continue reading and forget to update you guys. So I'm gonna go read. I'll talk to you guys later. Time no chat, you guys. I haven't picked up this camera to pick up this vlog in a really long time. I don't know if the background looks different. It probably does, but I have moved officially. I will do like a day in my life vlog pretty soon, or just like maybe a weekly vlog to catch you guys up. Wanted to chat about the book I'm reading because this is what this video is for, not a lifestyle thing. So currently, let me tell you how much time is left on the timer. We have 10 hours and 32 minutes left on the timer. I am 243 pages into this book. How long is this book? Not that long. Oh, we're almost there. Literally, I could probably finish this book today. It's like 290 pages. I struggle with Sarah Adams because I feel like she's so cringy and cheesy, and it's just too much for me. Like, I know romances are supposed to be a little cringy, a little cheesy, but hers are just another freaking level, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm just like, I don't care, you know? But I'm gonna finish it because I'm really close to finishing it. But that's pretty much where I'm at in this book, so I am gonna finish it today. I have a lot of time left on the timer, so maybe I'll choose like a chunkier book so that we can knock out a good chunk of time, or maybe a Christmas book because it is the 4th of December. So maybe we'll do a Christmas book, maybe. But I am gonna finish this today, and I will report back to you when I finish it. Also, maybe I'll show you a sneak peek of the library. Actually, no, if you want to see the sneak peek of like what my shelves look like now, the video before this, which is my bookshelf tour and organization, go to that because you'll get to see it. Okay, I'm gonna go read, and I'll chat when I finish this book. Hi guys. Backlighting is crazy in here. I do apologize, but I have no idea where my tripod is. Also, I have no idea where the book is. Hang on. Finished this book yesterday. It's a silly, goofy, fun time, but there's no like substance to this book, if you catch my drift, and I'm gonna rate it a 2-star. But yeah, I just don't like Sarah Adams writing, and I don't know why I picked this book up. I think it was because of the Golden Retriever. So this book is done, which we can shelf, which is great. Now it's time to start another book. I have like 10 hours and 7 minutes left, so I'm kind of in the mood for a fantasy, so let me pick a couple of options. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I just got this one in the mail, and this is an Arc of the Heir of Stardust and Secrets, and this is an adult romantasy, and I think it is Ancient War, Raw Magic, Hidden Powers, World Building, Fey Courts, Weapon Building, FMC, Slow Burn, He's Waited Centuries for Her, Spicy, Age Gap, Found Family, Protective, Hero. So I think this is going to be the move. I think we're gonna sit down and read this. This is 469 pages, and I don't know when this comes out. Hopefully this is good. I've been craving a fantasy, and I've been not reading that much. Obviously with moving, I haven't really had the brain power to read, and just other stuff that's gone on in my life within the same week of moving. It's been a lot, so my brain just hasn't wanted to read, but I feel like I'm getting back to that spot where I'm like, yes, I want to read. So let's go read, shall we? Hi guys, I look like a freaking drowned rat, but I have updates for you guys. And I figured I'd tell you while I put on my lotion, which by the way, this is the lotion I use. I do love it. I just hate the packaging. I wish they would put it in like a tub or something. So I honestly forget when I started this 24-hour challenge. I know I could look back in footage and see the exact date, but I feel like it was, obviously I was living at my apartment, so I want to say it was like maybe beginning of November. It was a really long time ago. It's now almost middle of December. I have just been going through quite a bit of a reading slump because I moved, so I've had a lot of life changes, not only moving but like personal life stuff. So like there's just been a lot and my brain cannot focus on reading. Also, this is the next thing I use on my skin. You'll thank me later. Also, I've gotten tons of compliments. So yeah, anyways, I just haven't really felt like reading, and the last book I finished, you guys know, was The Match by Sarah Adams, and then I picked up this book, Air Stardust and Secrets, and I'm just not feeling it. And it was our main male character that I think is our love interest is very much too nice for me. Like, I'm not into like that nice guy at first. Like, I need you to want to fucking kill me for me to like you. You know what I'm saying? So it was just too nice, and I'm just not in the headspace for it. So I'm thinking this route. This is a cozy fantasy and it's quite small. It's 324 pages, but the font is huge. We all know book of the month. Font is big. So I'm thinking this might be a good route to go to kind of jump in. I really want to read like a Christmas romance book, but I also could do a middle grade. But that's like more, I have this book, which is Winter House, and this is a middle grade, but I feel like, I don't know, this might be fun. So maybe I'll do either this or this and see which one I want to go with, but that's pretty much it. I don't really have any more updates other than that. I just wanted to pop on here really quick just in case if you guys see clips of me reading books that aren't the one book I talked to you guys previously about. That is why. So I'm gonna go read maybe, and I will speak to you guys later. I'm freshly gardened, if anyone knows what that means. Wink wink to my fellow gardeners out there. And I was like, you know what, let's read, because I have just not been able to get into a book. Okay, I've told you guys this. So I went to Barnes & Noble. I should have recorded for you guys, I didn't. But I picked up This Girl's a Killer, and it sounds really good, so I think I'm gonna read it. But I just wanted to say hi, introduce this clip before you guys see B-roll, because you're gonna see B-roll because hi guys, it has been probably a month since I picked up this camera and this vlog. I've taken a break from filming, from reading, from everything, just because life has been pretty weird for me lately. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, life's weird. If you can't tell my voice, I am currently sick and it's currently Christmas. I'm not even lying to you. It is December 25th. 2024, I don't even know if that focused, but I am home alone because I am sick. But I kind of want to read. I haven't really felt like reading in a while just because other things in my life have taken over or taken present over reading. So the book we were reading was This Girl's a Killer, and I'm not like obsessed with it. I'm 64 pages into it, and it's just like, it's about this girl who kills bad guys, and it's like it's more of like a comedy thriller, so I don't really know how I'm feeling about it. This was Barnes & Noble's like monthly pick, but since then I've had my book of the month pick come in the mail, and this is Alice, sorry, there's like crumbs on it. This is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, and I'm thinking maybe this could be a good switch up because this is a big book. This is like almost 400 pages long, or maybe it is 400 pages long, 430 pages long. This is very tiny. This is very doable. I feel like I could do this book, and maybe reading this will get me back into the mood of reading. Also, I don't know how much I have left on this timer. I could go back and watch footage to double check, but I'm actually way too freaking lazy to do that. So let me see if I have like any stopwatch, or I think I'm just gonna set it for 8 hours. We're gonna read for a little bit. We're gonna set it for 8 hours. I don't know. This book, all I know about this book is you're following this man who is an author, and he just received some good news and he's waiting for his wife to come home, and he gets his wife on the phone and his wife's like driving home and she's like, oh my god, there's someone in the middle of the street, and he's like, whatever you do, don't get out. She gets out and then she like disappears, and it's a year later. And that's all I know. And I think it happens again to someone else. So there's like a pattern. Usually I really like Alice Feeney books. So I have high hopes I'm gonna like this book. There's Wyatt. So yeah, let's get to reading. And I'll see you guys back here when I have like more thoughts about this book. Hi guys, I'm here to update you guys on the timer and the book. Also, so sorry about my voice. I've lost it. I've been sick for like the past week. So we are 5 hours and 13 minutes away from being done with this 24-hour challenge. I feel like I've been filming this video for like months and months and months at this point, but I have been reading Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I don't know where Dust Jacket went. I have no idea where that went. It's somewhere in the house and I just can't find it. But I am 189 pages into this book. This book is 300 pages, so we're getting there. In this book, you're following an author named Grady Greer, or Green, I think. And he is a best-selling author, and the day one of his novels gets on like the bestseller list, his wife ends up disappearing. And what happens is she stops in the middle of the road to help someone, and then she's never heard from or seen again. And it's now a year later and he's struggling to write. He hasn't wrote anything in a year. And so his editor, publisher, agent, one of the two, I think it's his publisher, sends him away to this really small island in Scotland where one of her other authors, Charles Whitwaker, I think, who's a very famous author, lived. He had a writing cabin there and he just like permanently lived there. And so she's like, you need to go, maybe distraction, like maybe going off and like being somewhere else, a different environment, you know, whatever. So he goes. This island is very strange. Like all the people just kind of, to me, it seems like they're not real, like they're AI. They're kind of like, oh, I don't want to say this and spoil it, but all the characters are kind of giving Don't Worry Darling vibes. Like if you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about, how the characters just seem like not real. Like they don't seem real, like something else is going on. And he starts seeing things that aren't really there. People are leaving his wife's old articles on his desk with little notes, and he ends up finding, I don't know how to say this without spoiling it, but if you've read Yellowface, if I say it, it's gonna spoil it, but I don't know if this is like a big twist, or I don't think it's a big twist. It's a big part of the book, I guess, because like this is what he's doing. I'm not gonna say it. So basically he does something, and this thing that he does, is kind of like because it's been there, done that with another book that I recently read, actually. So like it's kind of, that part I don't really care for. But he ends up believing he sees his wife on this island. He's like seeing her everywhere and he's trying to figure out like what's going on. I am bored with this book. Like people are saying this is her best work, like it's so good they couldn't put it down, blah blah blah. I'm bored with it. Like I don't think this is her best work, in my opinion. Usually Alice Feeney is an author that like sucks me in, and Daisy Darker I could not put down. Like that's one of my favorite books by her. This book I've been putting it down, but I also don't know if that's because I'm in a bit of a reading slump right now, and reading has taken quite a bit of a back burner in my life. Just because I have other stuff going on and I just haven't really been in the mindset to read. I've had a lot of big life changes happen recently, so I'm slowly getting back into that. So I don't know if that's why I'm not really loving this book or if it's because it's just the book, but it's just kind of boring to me. And I'm like, what When are we gonna have like a big twist come in? Because right now everything that's been revealed hasn't been too shocking for me, but I'm hoping stuff happens within the next like 120 pages. I think that's what I have left. So that's pretty much my thoughts on this. I would love to finish this week. It is currently, I'll tell you the date. It's currently January 2nd. I hope everyone had a fantastic new year and a start of their new year. So it's January 2nd. I'd love to finish this by Sunday. It's currently Thursday. This book is not going to take me 5 hours to finish. I think I'll probably finish this book and then potentially another book. I thought of including audiobook hours. I haven't really been listening to audiobooks recently. I've really been into music lately at work. Usually I listen to audiobooks, but I've been like gravitating towards Spotify, and I don't know, it's because I've been obsessed with Wicked and the soundtrack, and I cannot stop listening to the Wicked soundtrack. Like that's literally what I listen to at work, and it's now something that like calms me down. When I'm feeling stressed at work, I just turn on the Wicked soundtrack and I'm like, go to your happy place. So I don't really know, but yeah, those are my thoughts about this book. I will come back when I finish it. Guys, I finished a book. I finished Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I don't know where the dust jacket is. I'm not going to show you the book because it is covered in fingerprints. I think I'm going to give it a 3-star. But also like a 2.5 feels right for this book as well. Like I'm stuck between a 2.5 and a 3-star. Maybe I'll give it a 2.75. I don't know. I didn't love this book. Everyone said it's like her best work, and I disagree. Like I don't think it's her best work at all. So that's pretty much it. I think I have 3 hours left of the timer, but honestly I'm just gonna say goodbye here. I'm gonna be done, and I'm gonna take this as a fail because I really want to get this video up tomorrow for you guys. It's currently Saturday. I would love to get this video up on Sunday. So honestly I'm just going to say I failed. Forgive me, please forgive me. I feel like this video has been going on long enough, and I really want to start a new video today. So I'm gonna say goodbye here. I don't even remember what I read for this video, so I'm very sorry we can't do like a recap, but I'm sure you guys just watch the video so you know what I've read. Currently now I don't remember what I've read, but editing Kaylin will remember. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I promise the next 24-hour reading vlog won't be a fail. I don't know when I'll do one next because this was a lot for me. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys are staying kind to yourself and others around you, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.